In this next video, we're going to once again look at the Vlookup function. But this time, we're going to be using our table array, which is the key component. But we're going to make our table array a named range. So once again, the table array, we're going to make into a named range. The name of our file is T 4.01 Vlookup Grades named range. So we have our file open. Once again, we got 15 students, their grades. This area right here is once again the table array. The table array is always made up of columns. The first column is grade. The second column are the letter grades, the translation for those numeric values. 60 is D, 65 is D+. So, the key component, and I know I sound like a broken record, is the table array. Don't have a good table array, Vlookup doesn't work. One of the things we found in our last video was that we defined the table array, we highlighted it, and then we hit F4 to make sure that that entire table array was locked in. It's a common mistake for people to forget to lock in the values within the table array. They don't hit F4, or maybe they only get one side of it. How you get around that mistake is by taking your table array, defining it, and making it into a named range. Then you don't have to worry about hitting F4 or locking it in and making it an absolute. A named range by default is an absolute. So you get around that step. And as a rule, it's much easier to remember, what those table arrays are. So we're going to start by creating a named range for our table array. Our table array is right here. It's telling us A4 to B13. That's going to be our table array. I'm going to name that table array my first name, Kevin. So you come up to the name box, and I'm going to type in Kevin. Hit enter. Click out of here. Click somewhere else in the sheet. And if you come back to this name box and hit the down arrow, you're going to see a Kevin. And if you click on it, it will show you what Kevin translates to. Now, Kevin happens to be our table array. And this is the area for our table array. So that named range Kevin, that's your table array. So it makes it just so much easier to use Vlookup when you identify your table array and change it into a named range. So we're going to start here, f of x, Vlookup, lookup value, right here, F4. So in other words, we're looking up here because we want a translation. So the lookup value means that 65, it's going to shoot over here. You don't see it happening. Come over to my table array and find 65. And then depending upon what column index you choose, that's what it's going to bring back as a value. So the lookup value, F4. Now, my table array, all I got to do is just type in Kevin. Column index. Here's my table array. Here's my table array right here. It's going to be the second column. Still the second column. Column 1, column 2. Column 2 has my letter grades. Range lookup. Do I want an exact match or an inexact match? As we saw from our last example, we want an inexact match. So I can either leave it blank or type in 1. which means true. I'm going to leave it blank. Click OK. That seems right. Drag all the way down. This last one here, you can see. Now it's identifying F18. It just makes it so much easier to understand and to read. F18. My table array is Kevin. It's all highlighted. Second column has what I'm looking for, my letter. And the reason why there's not a fourth argument is that I left it blank, which means an exact match. Rather, I'm sorry, an inexact match. I chose an inexact match. Thank you.